may soon taking a turn to becoming reality. Find out how one Alabama lawmaker is breaking down what it will take to impeach the state's governor. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for the News at 7. I'm Simone Doughton. We begin with team coverage on the weather situation tonight. Over the past few hours, we have seen a couple of inches of rainfall in the valley, causing the Chattahoochee River to rise and flooding around creeks. You're looking at video from the river as well as the radar right now, where you can see rain continuing to move in. Let's get a check of what we can expect going forward from Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid in the Storm Team 9 First Alert Center. Derek.
Simone, thanks. Yeah, out there tonight, we are still monitoring the flood situation. There are still warnings in effect. One for the Chattahoochee River right here in the Fountain City. That goes out till Sunday. That's when the river is expected to drop below flood stage. Another wide-ranging flood warning for a lot of counties in the coverage area. This could persist through the nighttime hours into early Saturday. Some of those normal trouble spots, seeing some high water out there for sure. And we've already received a lot of rain, more than 3 inches in many cases, from Highway 80 and points off to the north across the Chattahoochee Valley. Elsewhere across the valley, again, heavy rain falling as well, but this was just the area of the greatest totals and the greatest concern as of now. The radar still showing rain, the heaviest showers south of the Fountain City, but there's another batch of rain that we have our eye on out here that's heading our way across Mississippi into Alabama. So this evening, the wet weather stays with us at times, but we'll tell you about improvements for the weekend coming up, Simone.
All right, thank you so much, Derek. Well, we have our eye out on the roadways in the valley as you start to head home from work or you are headed out to kick off the weekend. Continuing our team coverage is News Leader 9's Jose Zozaya, who's got his eyes on weather conditions around town. He joins us live. And Jose, what conditions are people facing out on the wet roads right now?
Simone, right now, folks could still expect to face very wet conditions out on the road. As you can see here out on 13th Street in Phoenix City, in this direction, there's not a lot of traffic. You can see some headed in the other direction, but the rain is still continuing to fall, a little bit heavier than it was before. Now, we should mention there haven't been any signs of thunder or lightning, which would indicate thunderstorms. Also, no major signs of wind coming into effect around here, but we still want to remind folks that that flood warning is still in effect. So we do want to remind you to remain inside and seek shelter if you have to, or take caution if you are heading out later tonight to enjoy the start of your weekend. And News Leader 9 will keep you updated from here on out if any changes do appear in the weather. Back to you in the studio, Simone.
All right, thank you so much, Jose. You stay safe out there. The flooding concerns are also taking place along the Riverwalk, where the Chattahoochee has been rising all day. News Leader 9's Emily Arroyo was at the river earlier today and tells us how much is expected to rise.
Simone, if you're planning on taking a bike ride, maybe a jog or stroll down the Riverwalk this weekend, think again. Take a look at this bridge here on the Phoenix City side. You can see some barricades in the back. That's where the river levels were at earlier today. Now officials have blocked the entire section off. And I spoke with city emergency managers, particularly Bob Franklin, who says they've been monitoring the situation since yesterday. Luckily, it slowed down a bit, but weather to the north of us is keeping those emergency managers on guard.
Just for the public safety, we had it barricaded off. You know, we really want people to use caution all the time around the river, but especially when it's at the levels like it is now.
The National Weather Service predicts these waters to stay high for a few days, as it does take some time to go down. In the meantime, officials continue to monitor the flooding here off the Riverwalk and say they're glad it's not as bad as it was during the holidays. For now, reporting in Phoenix City, I'm Emily Arroyo, WTVM News Leader 9.
And just a reminder, you can always receive the latest weather information sent straight to your phone. Just text your county to 40909 and you will receive alerts specific to your area if one is issued. You can also go to our website or Facebook page anytime for updates. Turning to some other news in the valley, witnesses are calling it a miracle as a Norfolk Southern train conductor and engineer both survived a horrific train derailment with no injuries. It happened in Opelika, about 150 yards east of the Royal City crossing near South Uniroyal Road. This is video sent to us by Hunter Price just after the derailment around 8:20 this morning. The train was about 100 cars long with 3 engines and was not carrying any hazardous materials.
Right now, the preliminary cause looks to be a bridge that washed out, causing the tracks to wash out at that bridge location.
Tonight, a massive cleanup continues after 22 of the cars fell to the side off of the tracks. In other news, this Friday evening, there's more details regarding the alleged affair between Alabama Governor Robert Bentley and a former staffer. Developing tonight, lawmakers may soon move to impeach Governor Bentley. However, he has not been charged with any crimes as of now. In Alabama, that doesn't matter, though, as you can be impeached for a number of reasons, including incompetency and moral turpitude. It is under those 2 charges Representative Ed Henry says he will call for articles of impeachment. Henry would need 53 representatives to get on board to send this process up for a trial in the Senate.
Well, I can assure the people of Alabama there is nothing there. And we will be able, as we put together our response to so many of these things, we will be able to address all of those things.
Impeachment is something these lawmakers haven't had to do before, so exactly how this process would play out is uncertain. If you want to know more about the events that have led up to where we are now, you can go to the homepage of our website, WTVM.com, where we have a special tab titled Governor Robert Bentley on our homepage. You will find reaction from lawmakers on the alleged affair, as well as the woman at the center of the scandal who is stepping down from her position. Tonight, we are learning more details as police are still trying to track down the driver who struck and killed a 14-year-old girl in Columbus last weekend. Columbus police are asking anyone with information on a truck which left the scene to come forward, and her family has offered a $6,000 reward for information that will lead to an arrest. Meanwhile, a candlelight vigil for Ari Phillips will be held next Wednesday at 8 p.m. at the scene of the accident across from the Rite Aid on Flat Rock Road. And now to an update. A memorial ceremony was held for a Fort Benning soldier who was killed in a car accident earlier this week. Command Sergeant Major Thomas Morgan died Tuesday after his Jeep was hit by another vehicle trying to avoid a stalled car. Well, that crash sent his vehicle over the Oglethorpe Bridge. Dozens of people attended the ceremony at the main post chapel to remember the Command Sergeant Major of 2nd Battalion, 47th Infantry Regiment.
If you ever doubted the level of teamwork on this post, doubt no more. We are part of something special here in the Panther Battalion and here at Fort Benning. Sergeant Major Roy Morgan was a vital part of making both 247 Infantry and Fort Benning more than something special. He made it excellent.
Command Sergeant Major Morgan is survived by his wife and 4 children. Charges could be possible in that deadly accident. So far, police have not released the identification of the driver of the stalled vehicle. It's home sweet home for approximately 40 soldiers. Today, family and friends welcome these soldiers home at a redeployment ceremony at Fort Benning. The soldiers are members of the 463rd Medical Detachment who spent 9 months in Kuwait. This unit's goal is to support the Department of Defense's mission and make sure that the fighting forces are being fed safely.
And so that's part of what our soldiers do. They're out there, they're checking the trucks, they're making sure that everything that's coming in to the installations, everything that the government buys is not contaminated. Anything that the forces are going to put to their mouth is safe to eat.
Sergeant Ross says she's happy to be home, but until the Army decides she needs another duty assignment, she hopes to make a difference in the community. President Obama says the nuclear deal with Iran has achieved a, quote, substantial success. Hear more of his comments from a nuclear security summit in Washington, D.C. Plus, a student who was injured during a shooting at a Virginia bus station yesterday has been released from the hospital. Stay with News Leader 9 for more details.
From your Storm Team 9 Alert Center, WTVM Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid.
More rain in the forecast?
Some more tonight, perhaps overnight as well, but some improvements for the weekend. That's the good news. Yeah, we've got to get some improvements in here. We've got to get the rain out of here, but the flooding potential stays with us. Here's what's going on out there as we speak. Wanted to share with you first some pictures of the rough weather out there over the past couple of days. Vicki Burnett at Upatoy Creek, the first one that you see there. Russell Bond from Beauregard sending in this shot. He said they had some wind damage out there last night as those storms did roll on through. So pretty much what we expected. A really low tornado threat, but wind and flooding our main concerns out there. And I had to share this shot from Crystal Lawrence. Said this was her one-year-old granddaughter getting ready today, hidden behind the umbrella there. So a rough start of it for many of you out there in the very wet weather today. And there are still some warnings we have to tell you about. Now, there is a flood warning for the Chattahoochee River here close to home. The river is at the moment at 30.8 feet. Now, the flood stage is 27 feet. So we're just above that, nowhere near what it was like around Christmas time when we had all of that heavy rain. And the good news, the river has already crested. It's already reached its highest point. There is still some additional rain to deal with, so this information could always change, but the river is expected to go down here over the coming days. But here's what's happening now. The rain ending for some out there. You see this line right through there showing where the rain has stopped over most of East Alabama, starting to push into Columbus as well, but there's still some more rain out there. You see the showers coming through today, but back off to our west, another round of rain is getting set to move on in. This is coming out of Mississippi. You see those showers there heading our way. So one more push of some rain here fairly soon. And then finally, overnight, the rain will come to an end. We'll see the clouds start to move out as well. And I really think our Futurecast here has a good handle on what's going on. So here's that first batch of rain moving out. A little bit of a break in the rain over the next hour or two for some. And then here's round two coming back in. Now, there will be no thunderstorms involved with this, most likely. There'll be no severe weather involved, but additional rain, a good possibility tonight. But by about midnight or after, we'll finally see most of the showers moving out. By early Saturday, I think a lot of it start the day dry with no major weather concerns through the rest of the day. So to break it down for you one more time, rain tonight, a slim chance of a shower early Saturday, then a cooler Saturday afternoon and evening. Chilly by Sunday morning. Could see a few 30s out there for lows, and by Sunday afternoon, sunny conditions build back in. So the weekend not all bad. Tonight, lows in the 40s and 50s out there. The further south and east that you go, you'll run into warmer weather, but I think most of the valley in the 50s for lows tonight. And as we break down your day on Saturday, that slim rain chance early giving way to clouds decreasing through the day. The high at 68 degrees for tomorrow. Here's a check of that 9-day forecast. Next week's weather not looking bad. Monday, Tuesday, dry, highs back in the 70s, but our next rain chance Wednesday, Thursday, that doesn't appear to be a heavy rain or a severe weather event for us. After that, cooling down in a big way about 1 week from today, Simone. That's something we'll have our eye on.
All right, well, we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Still to come on the news at 7, 2 suspects accused of trying to join a terror group learned their fate in court. We'll tell you what they were trying to do on behalf of ISIS.
can count on. This is News Leader 9 at 7 on Fox 54.
President Obama said today international security can be advanced when the international community stands as one. The president met with allies who helped negotiate the nuclear Iran deal on the final days of the Nuclear Safety Summit in Washington, D.C. President Obama said with the help of strong sanctions, the group secured a long-term deal that closes off every possible path to build a nuclear weapon.
Already, Iran has dismantled 2/3 of its installed centrifuges. Iran has shipped 98% of its enriched uranium stockpile out of Iran. Iran has removed the Arak reactor core and filled it with concrete. If Iran were to cheat, the breakout time to build a nuclear weapon has gone from 2 to 3 months to about a year.
President Obama acknowledged it will take some time for Iran to reintegrate into the global economy. He pointed out Iran is already starting to see the benefits of this deal. 2 men in the UK have been found guilty of trying to join ISIS. UK prosecution says Junaid and Shazib Khan plan to travel to Syria to fight alongside the terror group. Junaid Khan was also found guilty of preparing an act of terrorism within the UK. The head of UK counterterrorism says Junaid Khan's plan involved targeting members of the U.S. military using a knife and possibly a pressure cooker bomb. The men are scheduled to be sentenced in May. Greyhound is reopening its bus station in Richmond, Virginia. That's where a gunman fatally shot a state trooper yesterday before being shot dead by other troopers. Police say they don't know what prompted James Brown of Aurora, Illinois, to open fire as police were conducting a training exercise there. 2 women were also shot, but they are expected to recover. Singer Justin Timberlake in some legal trouble today related to one of his most popular albums. We'll tell you who is claiming copyright infringement against the artist. And the Clooneys are using their fame to fight for a cause that affects many people around the world. Find out how they're doing their part to stop genocide.
Now from WTVM Sports Leader 9, Dave Platt.
Showdown probably gets overused in game previews. Not tonight. The Cottonmouths and Macon Mayhem playing in a contest that is a showdown in every sense of the word. Now, it's the season finale for the Mayhem, while the Snakes have 5 games remaining to pick up 8 points in the SPHL standings. The Mayhem can clinch a playoff berth and effectively eliminate the Snakes. Of course, the Snakes got their own ideas about that. They're in it to win it, and they know what they have to do tonight to keep those playoff hopes alive.
A good defense is a good offense, and we got to play physical and attack, and we got to have people going to the net with traffic, and we got to have guys shooting the puck and get into that area and score some dirty, ugly kind of goals.
I think we're both pretty hard-working teams. They're very disciplined, so we're going to have to be smart with our execution of our systems, and I feel like if we do that, we're going to be okay. We're going to throw everything we have at them, including the kitchen sink. We're going to do whatever it takes to win that hockey game. Lay down block shots with our face, it doesn't matter. Whatever it takes, we've got to win that hockey game.
Opening faceoff is at the bottom of the hour at the Civic Center. We'll have your highlights tonight. Of course, baseball is not on today's radar screen around here thanks to the other stuff on the radar screen, but last night in Athens, a marathon. 13th inning, Georgia-Bama tied at 7. Bulldog Steven Wren booting the Chandler Taylor fly to lead off the inning, which opens the door. Later in the inning, it's Chase Vincent leading the left fielder on a chase. This triple bringing home Taylor, and that makes it 8-7 tied. And then later in the 13th, Taylor Poe lining into the gap in right center field. Vincent comes in to score, so does Keith Holcomb. That makes it 10-7 Bama. Thomas Burrows in relief looking for the save, walking the bases loaded, and then Burrows proceeds to strike out the side. Bama takes it 10-7 in 13 innings. The two teams have just gotten underway tonight in Athens. That's a look at sports.
Justin Timberlake is the target of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Cirque du Soleil has sued the pop singer for what it claims is illegal use of a sample of one of its production's original songs. The show says a sample from a song in its Queendom production in Timberlake's Don't Hold the Rock track. Well, the track is from the singer's 2013 album, The 2020 Experience. The suit filed Thursday in New York federal court seeks $800,000 in damages. The Clooneys are continuing their crusade. George Clooney is set to present a $1 million humanitarian prize to highlight those challenging genocide. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Clooney and his wife will travel to Armenia this month to award the Aurora Prize for Awakening Humanity. The winner will receive $100,000 and then choose a humanitarian organization to receive a $1 million grant. Still ahead on News Leader 9 on Fox 54, a group of sea turtles are getting some help after making their way far from home. Find out where they are being taken to live out the rest of their lives.
And after the break, we'll update the radar for you and have another check of the 9-day forecast as we get you ready for the weekend. Stay with us.
And finally tonight, a pair of sea turtles named Thunder and Lightning. How cute is that? Well, they're on their way to California. These kind of turtles are usually found off the coast of Mexico, but storms forced them onto the Oregon shore. They've been in rehabilitation since December, but are now ready to go back into the wild. Unfortunately, they didn't stop for a photo op before their big trip. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, 10 sea turtles were found on the West Coast this winter.
Sea turtles, all business, not stopping for a picture or anything. Got to get to where they're going.
And Lightning.
I like that. I like those names.
Too.
You know, before we came back, we were discussing our April Fool's prank that we were going to play in the viewers out there. And we haven't come up with a good one yet, but we will. Maybe by 10, we'll try to work something out.
Get ready.
Yeah, get ready. So let's get ready for some wet weather, too. If you're heading out this evening for any reason, the rain ending for some, but look west of here, west of Montgomery, another batch of rain on the way. So again, some showers possible at times, but we do find improvements by the weekend and then into next week, drying out by Monday and Tuesday, too. Some warmer temperatures by then.
Keyword, dry.
Drier. We need it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you back here for the news at 10.
You know, the big